Okay, I think we are live. So let's kick it off.
Yeah, great. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the weekly meeting of i18n initiative of Node.js. Today I'm going to talk about current status and what is in our to-do list for next week. I hope we resolve a lot of currently open issues that give us a big progress. For example, Jose, who is on the call now, he did a lot of stuff when I was busy with my main position, and Jose did great stuff for Node.js.org. He's created a Git hook for that, and now we have some premature preventing for not usable work for translators, something I don't know how to say it better. So here is this PR, and it's waiting for somebody else approval because we had a chat with Nick, and he stay against of the using Husky and Git hooks in general because it's not using on Node.js dev, and they are also removed from Node.js org. But it's a weird situation because when I investigated in the reasons why they're removed from the Node.js.dev, I figured out that it's not related to Husky. It's related to other stuff, and I pointed about this, and it's like another issue not related actually to translations. Our points like should we use Husky or not is stay open, and we're waiting for somebody else approval. For example, UPenn or Zeke, because I already approved, but after long discussion, we decided to wait for somebody else approval, and then we're going to merge this PR. So that's what is the current state. And also Zeke requested changes, but then not reapproved it, so we're kind of blocked with that.
Okay. Did the changes have anything to do with the issue with Husky?
I believe not.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the Husky issue yet, so I will try to take a look at that and see what the issue is and help that move forward.
Yeah, it will be great. In general, Husky is not an issue. It's what I like to say about it is like gun is not a problem until gun is in hand of the human. So the same with Husky. Husky is not a problem. It becomes to be a problem after bad developers trying to do something with that. So
yeah, and unfortunately, that can ruin it for everyone if it gets in the the wrong hands or whatever. But yeah, I just want to see what Nick means by developer friction, and then see how we can resolve that and what the best step forward is there.
Yeah, so it's like main feature for last few weeks, and we are still waiting for it be resolved. So yeah, gotcha. I hope after this call we will have some approvals. Next question is, let's open our issues list. Yeah, publish the current model to NPM. It's related. It's more related to Zeke because he is the person who forcing NPM package stuff. I'm not against this, but I just not very confident, and I'm not really I'm not forcing this idea, so I haven't any points about this. I'm okay, but I don't know. Probably somebody else have some opinion about it. So the final decision that we had is we are making our repo as npm package, but we are not publishing it to the npm and keeping everything on a repo because with the current after npm version 5, I believe, we can install packages directly from GitHub, so there is no any reasons to publish it to npm. But Journey asked us to publish it, so I don't know what is the current state with it. So probably let's wait for Zeke or Miles. Miles never come to our calls, but let's wait. I don't know. For me, it's open question, and we're just waiting for that.
What was the initial opinion there about the value of publishing it to the npm registry versus just having it accessible through GitHub?
I don't know. There is no any points about it. So
okay, interesting.
So it's like a feature for a feature.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out too.
I haven't any strong opinion about it, so it's open for me, and I don't know what to say here. The next question is, okay, yeah, repo contains content for disabled languages. There's something that I'm trying to make automatical to remove all stuff that like deprecated, but it's a bit tricky to check what content we should remove and what content we shouldn't. For that, I already updated some workflow, I believe. No, it's not. Yeah, this one. So yeah, and here also related to another stuff. Oh no, sorry, I missed. So no, it's not related to requests, but it's like kind of. So disabled languages is issue about integration between GitHub and Crowdin. After we are turned off language and Crowdin, we are still keep this content on GitHub site, and it's not removing. I'm not sure that it's really big issue, but it's issue. I agree. So should we remove this? I don't know. And yeah, here's some decision like to drop it manually. And what is the next automation? I don't know how it's possible to handle because hiding some language, it's not hard delete. So we shouldn't remove it. But on other side, we shouldn't keep some unusable stuff on repo. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think my 2 cents or my opinion is that it's going to create, it might be a potential source of friction, especially if documentation changes or something like that, and it's not, it's not up to date, or I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why, like, I guess I would hope that no one who speaks a specific language and somehow ends up looking on this repository for some information in their language, like tries to access information that may be out of date or, incorrect. So like there's a chance that, there could be a lot of errata like generated over time as things are updated. And it's just, I think removing it keeps, keeps things simpler and more easy to reason about over time. So in my opinion, if it's not an active project, then, there's no real reason to have it here in our repository. So that's just my opinion, but
yeah. And other thing is if we are turning off this language on crowd inside, all translations that is already done is not removing. And if we are removing content on a GitHub site and then we are turning back this language and crowd inside, it will synchronize, and we again will have all translations that already done before. So yeah. I don't see any issues here, and I think I'm going to create a PR with removed content for these languages. So yeah, awesome. I think it's solved.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
Thanks, man.
Another thing, yeah, Node.js logo is stuff like we're still waiting for lawyers, I believe.
Can you catch me up on this one? Because I wasn't able to track this since I've had a lot going on the last couple months. What's going on with this, and like what's the legal stuff around having a logo?
There's some bureaucracy stuff. I'm not familiar with that, but to use Node.js logo on your personal website or on your company website, you should have some approval from Node.js Foundation.
Got it.
And Crowdin contacted to me to ask, can we use logo? And I said, I'm okay with that, but I'm not sure. So let me ask. And I asked it here, and some guys from community committee respond to me, and we're still waiting for for lawyers. And yeah, I also found this guy. I don't know what is going on with him. Probably some hater. I don't know what is that. So
Yeah,
I just laughed and okay.
It could is it as a translator using Crowdin is not a good advertisement to the contrary. Accumulated closed source. Yeah, it looks pretty negative. Lackluster closed source tool that only operates once. Oh, I see. Okay.
And from all guides like how to communicate with haters, we shouldn't respond to them. So I'm just keep silent.
Yeah, no, it's problem. It's not a problem. I can respond to this person. I think the issue here is that they think that there are certain like social ramifications for using Crowdin that are a problem, and I think it's more like this. At first look, I thought this was a troll, but I don't think it is. I think it's someone who's just concerned about the integrity of like Node.js associating itself with Crowdin as a company or a platform. So I can respond to that. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, we are still waiting, and the last answer from Brian, like we're still waiting for answer from lawyers.
Cool, no problem. Yeah, if Brian's chiming in here, then this should move forward at least at some point.
Yeah, so it's also open, and we can't like force any progress manually.
Cool.
And another good stuff that happens for 3 weeks ago is we had some conversation with sorry, I forget the name of the company. Just a second. Sorry.
No problem.
So I connected with Adam, and okay, ModelFront.
Oh.
So Adam is I don't know the exact title of his, probably his CTO, I believe, of ModelFront company. That is the company that I don't know how to explain. So their product is trying to predict risks of translation.
Huh, that's cool.
Like predict machine translation risks, something like that. And he contacted with me. He makes some demo for me, and I said, okay, it looks great. And we decided that we probably can keep this for a future, because for now we are not using machine translations. But if we start using it, probably we can integrate in some way with ModelFront. Another thing is ModelFront having some strong API that we can use for, I don't know, daily basis to check our content, and unfortunately it should be did manually, and it's not very comfortable. But he said like it's in his plans to do good API for that. And probably when we start using machine translations, they will also done API, and we can connect, and it will be good collaboration. They are also free for open source, and they are also like to help for to Node.js community, because they're also using it. So
Totally. Hey,
so
oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, I just had a question about machine translations or ML translations here. So, what is has there been any discussion within the last couple weeks or couple months within the internationalization working group about like the reasons for ML translations versus like crowd-in translations, and how and when we would want to use each? You know, like what's the advantage of doing machine translations, versus fully relying on crowd-in and all that? And I'm asking that like rhetorically. There's not an opinion behind that question. I'm more just like, has there been a conversation around that?
So the reality of manual translations, like using crowd-in and any enthusiasts that join it, is going so slow, and machine translation can handle all stuff for one day, and we have all translations done, but it's not high quality. And like general opinion, we can pre-translate all content base with machines, and then new translators just can proofread everything, and it's like reduce a lot of job that should be done.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. And also, if we are going to use ModelFront, the main idea is to check and all translations and predict what can be translated bad, and sort the list of all sentences and of all words. Like some sentence will be translated correctly for 99%, and some sentence will be translated incorrectly with 99%. And better to focus for our translators to this top list of the sentences that can be incorrectly translated. So it's a good catch, but it's still like not ready.
It seems like the advantage of using machine translations and then proofreading them would get translators most of the way there, right? Is what you're saying. So like having the translation be like just say 70% done or 80% done, because like you're going to step through and verify that each sentence is correct or whatever, versus having to translate from the ground up. Yeah, I mean that sounds good. It sounds like a positive thing, and it would save time for translators. That's awesome. Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, I think I will investigate a bit more in this question. Probably some API is already done, and we can make some experiments for now. Because in my personal roadmap, what should be done is we need to complete migration from GitHub Flow to crowd-in, and then we're going to switch. I'm going to switch to features. So
nice.
For me, it's most important. So it's like for the next few weeks, I believe.
Awesome.
And yeah, hide strings is things that I discovered is to protect some words from translation. So I thought there's some that we can set it on our side on repo with some JSON file, and crowd-in never reached out to these sentences, and it will be never translated, like some links, some titles, some I don't know, some paths to the file names, I don't know. And
yeah,
unfortunately it's impossible with JSON file.
Yeah.
But I figured out another way, and it's like some video how we can do this with crowd-in, and unfortunately it can be done manually or with API. From my point of view, I don't know how to just do this faster. Things. Oh yeah, so something like that. So you should click on the some strings and click on hide. and these strings will be shown for translators, but with mark hide, and if translator try to suggest some translation, it will show some warning. And
oh, that's great. Yeah.
So yeah, and I opened this issue like to discuss with everyone, because we have two options. First option is to do like I show on the video, is to do this manually, and I already hide some links like Node.js, JavaScript, and other stuff, and it was easy and quick and fast. Or we going to use some API stuff, but from my personal point of view, it will be harder to implement this script, because we should handle a lot of things like plural stuff. We should handle all cases, reject stuff, and CrowdIn API doesn't support rejects, so we should send a lot of all of the possible options of the word to API to hide all the strings. So it's kind of tricky, and I think we can live with the manual hiding. But I open the issue so everyone can leave their opinion here. So yeah.
Yeah, this is a really good step. I'm super glad to see that you discovered that option within CrowdIn, the CrowdIn platform. Yeah, it kind of plays into conversations that we had at the beginning of this working group, where we tried to figure out obviously, like what does a glossary look like of reserved words, and how do we do that efficiently. And I think if we can move forward simply with a solution like that already puts that in place on CrowdIn, where the translators are going to be looking anyway, where it's already going to be generating warnings, that is a good place for that, because that's all we like you said, maintaining a script around that is just extra burden. So if we can maintain that on the CrowdIn side, that sounds great to me. Maybe with some kind of reference to it, or documentation or note within our API, just to mention something about reserved words or something. But yeah, that's really great. I think I just want to look at that a little deeper and see what what the options are and what people's opinions are on that. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm trying just to show how it works. I don't remember how I did the strict search. Okay, so never mind.
No problem.
But yeah, in general, it looks easy.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's open, and if somebody have an opinion or objections, please write some comment here.
Sweet.
Yeah. Next thing is oh yeah, and machine translation risks. So I already described. Format of translated content. Yeah, I think it should be closed, because yeah. So we had a few, not we are. It's on the CrowdIn side. There was some problem with formatting Markdown. There I had some additional line at the end of the file, and they are also moving anchors linked to, I don't know, it's like predefined list of links at the bottom of the Markdown file that can be reused everywhere in the file. After CrowdIn translation, all links placing directly to the usage. I don't know. And it's like making some mess and making some difference between original content and translated content, and it was not right. So I asked CrowdIn support, and they already fixed it. So I believe I can close it now. Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just go ahead and make a note and close that then. But I can give you an approval if you want me to just do that. see. Where is it? Sorry, what was the name of the issue again?
I don't know.
I
I missed it.
Oh no, oh, that's not it.
You're asking about issues that we
What?
discussed.
Yeah, what issue number was that? Or did you just close it? Formatting translated content through 16. Oh, you just closed it. Okay, cool. No problem.
Yeah.
I was just going to prove it. That's all. We're just saying awesome. Okay, cool. Great.
Yeah, it's not approval, it's issue. So
No,
sorry.
I know. I was just gonna back you up on it, is what I mean by approve.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry. I closed because I trying to go faster because
Yeah,
time
no,
is running out.
Yeah, no, I got it.
So yeah, formatting is closed. Next thing is Nick asked about documentation. How is content published from translated content published to the website to be alive? But after some investigation and after some discussion, we are already know that it's not working as we expected, and we need to configure everything from scratch because translations never become live on the Node.js.org website. I mean, for documents. Node.js website translation is already live, but Node.js.org documentation is not live, and it wasn't live. It never wasn't live. Yeah. So we need to do this from scratch, and we need to start working with build team because I actually saw the scripts on the main repo, but I'm not really confident what is kind of language and how it's building. So I need help from somebody else from build team, and I'm going to contact with somebody later. So
Cool. Maybe we could even invite someone from the build group to next week's meeting if that's easy, or if you were going to meet with them before then, that's totally cool. But if not, at the very least, we could reach out and see if somebody could join us for next week so we can discuss that issue.
Yeah, I think it's the ways that we're going to use. So because I don't understand how it works. We have make file. I don't know what is that. Is C++ or what is that? It's in some way it's building documentation, and then it's binding to Node.js.org website, and I don't know how it's going on, what is going on. So let's ask somebody familiar with that.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Yeah, this is like open question, and it's good, but it's not really critical. Critical issue, not okay. I can say this is critical issue. I figured out that we are not keeping all versions after it's dead, end of life. And from my point of view, it's not right strategy because we have documentation for all versions of Node.js on the website, and it's expected result to have translations for all these versions. I'm not forcing translators to make translations for deprecated versions. My point is just to not remove already translated content from our repo, because how it works now, we are removing it. And as you can see, it is already removed version 6 and version 8. I'm okay with it because I'm not using it, but let's imagine somebody from
exactly
Ukraine want to use it. and he also worked on the translations for version 6, and now it disappeared. So it's not really expected. So I created this issue because it's crazy.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
And I asked for other opinions and created pull requests that should solve this. Okay, I created a pull request with all content back, added back content for all versions that is currently available for Node.js.
Yeah.
And also I updated script to not remove these versions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still open.
Mm-hmm.
I have one approval, but after some discussion with Nick,
mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting for somebody else. Again, when I have some discussion with Nick, he like he convinced me to let's investigate more, and I start struggling in my idea. Sorry, I don't remember exactly what is the word. Let me just translate because it's really interesting.
Totally. Great.
Doubt about my opinion.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
So I'm waiting for somebody else approval because it's really a big pull request, like reverting everything back. It's like something big and should be discussed with everyone.
Yeah. Here's the thing. So if this is the source of, like, my question is source of truth for documentation for all versions. So if you know, like, where does the source of truth for no longer supported versions live? And if you know, obviously, like, we want people to use, you know, supported versions and LTS and you know, newer versions and that sort of thing. However, like you said, there may be other people out there who are dependent on an old version of Node or have some project that's shrink wrapped, you know, that they need to, like, use just for, like, they don't have a reason to change it, but they need to figure out an issue or something like that. And I'm just curious about if there is, you know, like, where the source of truth is for all the older versions of you know, Node.js as far as documentation of those APIs. And if there is not, I haven't actually looked at the Node.js.org site to see, like, how far back the documentation goes. But if there's
for the first version, like a 0.
Oh, it goes all the way back then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Versions.
Okay, cool. Well, if all the versions live on the Node.js.org site, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Well, then that's fine. That kind of resolves my concern. Yeah, I was just worried about, like, if someone needs to reference, like, older documentation, then they can. Now, does that need to be translated into every language and have references for those over time? That's debatable. Yeah, you know, like, as long as there's some kind of single source of truth for every version that's documented somewhere. But again, like you said, you know, maybe if somebody's already if somebody's already
another
done
point, sorry, another point is, like, translators can be disappointed after, for example, some translator invest their time to make translations for all version, and after half of the year, this version is hard removed from everywhere, and it's so sad.
Actually, I don't know why I didn't think of this while we were looking at the documentation there. Like, just the fact that the Node.js.org documentation goes all the way back, like, are we going to limit someone from translating older versions just because, you know, like, just because they're no longer supported or whatever? Like, I would think that if somebody wants to support translating that for a specific purpose, maybe they have a team that's dependent on it or something, then they can go ahead and do that. We shouldn't, like, limit them from supporting, or, you know, from translating older versions if they wanted to. So
Yeah.
that's just, I guess that's my opinion.
And also for handling priorities, we can use CrowdIn. They provide us with this functionality, like older versions we're setting with lowest priority, and the newest version we set with higher priority. So
totally. There you go. Yep.
so probably you can approve this PR.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is like general stuff that can be done. And yeah, I believe other thing is not very critical for now.
Awesome.
Oh, it should be done. Oh no, it's about repos, and I I still didn't write any details. Okay, I'll take a look later. It's something about repos, but I think this is enough. And we can switch to pull requests because it's more important from my point of view.
Yeah.
So let's just yeah, this PR we already discussed is about adding documentation back. Okay, next stuff is about discuss it is about our roadmap, how we're going to protect our content from direct updates. So I created a GitHub Actions workflow for these reasons, and again I am waiting for. Okay, I have one approval. Probably I can merge it. Yeah, so this we have two lines of protection. First is Git hook that we are making on the initial steps to avoid some unusable work did by translator. And the next step is when potential translator ignored all our warnings and committed in some way after he is making pull request with translations, we are say, okay, man, but sorry, we are not using this approach. Please use CrowdIn, and I believe this polite as much as I can.
Yep.
Thank you for contribution. We are translating content with CrowdIn. So yeah, this should be okay. Yeah, and we need to. I still haven't any idea how we can share this this functionality between all Node.js projects, because we have 3 projects and we need to have the same functionality for each of them. For example, Jose already created a Git hook for Node.js.org, but doesn't for i18n. And I thought about npm package, but then I decided it's overhead, and probably we should copy paste it for all projects, and let's see how it will be. So for now, I'm working with i18n, and then I'm going to create the same pull request for new website and for old website.
Awesome. Yeah, I think it's more just like maybe a rule of 3 or 4. You know, if we end up having more projects, then we might need an npm package. But for now, just copy and paste is like, I mean, what is like 3 projects, so it's not really a problem. That seems good. Oh, on the chat, hello, Stephen.
Hey, hello.
Oh gosh, we have a couple more people here that need to be added. Promote the panelist, panelist.
I have a voice. Thank you.
Yay.
Woohoo! All right, let's
hello guys.
Make co-host. I'm making everyone co-hosts here, just so sorry if we were.
I just got here.
Oh, okay, cool. Just didn't want to be late to the draw there. Okay, cool. Everyone should be a co-host, so you are able to talk and say hello. Show your video if you want. Stephen, welcome. Hey, we just ran through a bunch of kind of a current status on where we are with CrowdIn and translations and the npm module and different things like that. How are things going with you and with INTL, and what's the current status on all that?
Yeah, generally okay. Couple of PRs emerged recently. One is the ICU 67.1 with just latest update and content. Another one was a document that's been sitting for a while on how to do time zone updates. Morocco is on and then off time zone. I don't remember. I never keep time zone straight. I just trust the code that the code data. So anyway, Morocco's wrong unless you get time zone 2020A. One thing is that I think that how to load time zone data on the side without needing to rebuild everything, it's an open issue. It's been open since Node.12. It needs some attention. So if anyone has thoughts on how that can be handled, let me know. That definitely needs work here. I'm still remiss on getting the full ICU to pull directly from GitHub.
Yeah.
But that's less of an issue since full ICU is included with the base. So I'm turning the crank each time so far. So anyway, that's kind of my quick update. There's a lot happening with the ECMA 402 progression, and there's also a new project called ICU 4X, which is targeting Rust, but it may eventually be a good source for building, for linking in with, because you can target WebAssembly. ICU, I as in India, ECU. Oh, sorry, I. Other I.
Yep. So no E, but an I. Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I as in India.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
yeah. There we go. ICU for X. So this is a brand new subcommittee of ICU. In fact, I think it's not even blogged yet. So.
Whoa, that's awesome.
But Mozilla and Google and some others are interested in this. It's basically rewriting pieces. It's not a port. Anyway, you can read about it. But its target is the ECMA 4.2 surface. So you can read about that, but this may be a future source of ECMA implementation.
That is awesome.
So
awesome.
Take a look.
Rad, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
okay.
Great.
I'll take a look later.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Awesome. Well, I think we were kind of nearing the end of this, unless Alexander, did you want to cover any other PRs or anything that you wanted to discuss?
Yeah, here's a few left, and it's just a quick, and we are can start talking about something interesting. So one of them is just text changes PR, to add some details about why you need, about how you can handle how you should handle auto-created pull requests to pass all checks. It's like some problems with that because it's really hard to explain. So workflow cannot trigger workflow, and it's an issue. And if pull request created by GitHub bot, they cannot start running any test checks, and this is a problem. And quick workaround is to close and immediately reopen this pull request. And I just added these instructions here, and I spent more time to explain this PR than I did actual job. So yeah, please just approve it, and I'm going to merge it. There's no any functional changes. Yeah, another thing is I updated our scripts, our content sync script, to remove translations for removed original files. So for example, we have file A and file B on original content, and we have the same files for the translation. After we are removing file A for original, for translations, file A still keeps, and we are not handling this case. So I updated our script to remove this files like this, and welcome to review and approve.
Awesome. Wow, thank you. That's great.
Yeah, and last of all, oh yeah, and I'm going to make everything automated, and
Yeah.
I want to make our issues to create automatically. So I created this pull request, and yeah, please welcome to review. It will create a issue like we have for our meeting on weekly basis for each Wednesday, and yeah, I think it's useful for us.
Except we're meeting on Fridays.
Yeah, but it's creating by Wednesday
Oh, gotcha.
but creating for Friday.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Great. Yeah, right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So yeah, just
Right, each Wednesday.
please check, and yeah, and that's basically it from my side. And also I have some update. Yesterday I had a chance. I had a meeting, not a meeting. Had a call with Giuseppe from OpenJS Foundation,
Awesome.
and I promoted our i18n initiative. I talk about what is going on, what we have, what is the progress, and what is the current status. So I thought that a lot of people joined to our team after this call, but unfortunately for now it's just one person. But it's also a result. So
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
think it's okay.
Was it the open? What was it was the open office call yesterday? Was that it?
Yeah, open hours call,
Open hours.
something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yeah. Awesome, man. I was so grateful to hear that, and that you connected with Giuseppe. He's awesome, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's great.
just thankful to do that. I'm gonna try to continue to do my best to promote things on Twitter. We seem to get a good response for that. I think the one thing I'd like to help focus on, since my working hours are coming back to me, I feel like one thing I'd like to help is making translator resources, like how to get involved more, more visible, for people, because I feel like every time we tweet about it, people are excited, in different localization groups. So there's definitely some work to be done to enable those groups, within their within Crowd and within their repositories and whatnot. So yeah, excited to attack this from all angles. And man, thank you for all your great work, Alexander. Thank you, Jose, for the work you're doing. Zeke, who's not here. Thank you, Stephen, for the update today and joining. Yeah, I just look forward to seeing you all next week and picking up some more steam here. So I think that should do it for today, unless anybody has any last thoughts they want to share.
Very good.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks, y'all.
Last thought, guys, review pull requests, please.
Yes, yes, you need.
Thank
we know you need help. We'll do our best.
Okay.
Right on.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. So,
right.
yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Right.
Good momentum here.
Yep, definitely. See you next time. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.